Hey, what's going on, guys? Happy St. Patrick's Day. I got my St. Patrick's Day hat. And of course, I got my little St. Patrick's Day leprechaun. I got this from a viewer many years ago. It is marked JM. I don't know, is there a date on there? 06 maybe? I don't know. Hard to tell. Upside down looks like 06, and then up, right side up, I can't tell anything. But anyway. So I got this from a viewer many years ago, and I thought it was really cool. You know, obviously a little hand-carved, hand-painted statue of a leprechaun, just chilling, just sitting there. It looks like his hands in his pockets, just thinking about stuff. And I thought to myself, what am I going to do with this? You know what I mean? What am I going to do with it? And every single year around St. Patrick's Day, I pull it out for like a week or so, and I just use it as a little decoration. And he's my good luck charm. So yeah. Happy St. Patrick's Day. Today's video is not about leprechauns. It is about OTFs. So I have a couple OTFs here, all right, from TacKnives, 3 different sizes, different styles. And the subject of the video was because of a comment. Someone had said, hey, you know, I saw your video on the OTFs. I want to get one. I got one. And, you know, it's just really uncomfortable. It hurts my thumb, you know, to open it. And is that normal? Is it going to break in with time? No, it's not. So I shouldn't say no, it's not, but it's very unlikely. All right, a quality OTF, right? The actual switch that we have that's opening this knife, right? The mechanism. It has a heavy spring on it. The purpose for that, which a lot of people know, but some people don't, is to work as a safety. There's no safeties on a lot of these, although yes, some OTFs do have physical safeties you could turn on, so they will not open on accident. Most don't. It's uncommon, right? So having a heavy spring on here is for safety. So when it's just loose in your pocket, if you have this clip to your pocket, this does have a pocket clip on this one. All right, so when you have a clip to your pocket, if you reach in and you bump that switch, it's not going to accidentally go off. You can hit that quite hard without having it go off, right? So if you've never had one of these before, as you're pushing forward, it's building tension, right? So it's like it's getting a little bit harder and harder, then it stops. If you go slow, you could feel that. It stops, and then obviously if you push forward just a little bit more, it breaks. And what I mean breaks is it actuates the mechanism inside, which releases that blade. And the springs inside shoot it out, and it locks open. And then the reverse happens, all right? If you have a dual action OTF, meaning that the switch on the side both opens and closes it. There are single action OTFs where a switch will open it, and then, like, you know, you have to grab a mechanism back here and pull back to retract the blade and reset it. That's something different. It's a little more old school. Also kind of rare these days. But anyway, so we have a dual action OTF, right? And people watch these videos and you see me open and close them. And they're like, dude, I can't do that. I've got messages. How do you do that? I've just been playing with these for a very long time. I don't think I have a particularly strong thumb. But in this video, I will show you a quick tip, which might help you. And I've given this tip over the years because it's a very common question. Hey, I just got my first OTF, and you know what? It just hurts my thumb. It's common. You know what I mean? You're not alone. It's not like just you, okay? Trust me. But the one thing I will give you as a tip is to choke up on the knife. If you just naturally just pick this up and grab this and push forward, I mean, look, your thumb only has a certain amount of range. That's as far as I could push forward. So if you're at your max, as you're building tension, it's going to be a lot more difficult to push that all the way forward than if you choke up on the knife, all right? So hold the knife as forward as possible, okay? Obviously, be careful. Do not put your fingers, don't have it overhanging or something like that, all right? Obviously, this is where the blade comes out of the top, right? So just use a little common sense there. But hold it as high as possible so that your thumb, right, has more movement. You want to be able to, when you're holding this knife, you want to be able to move your thumb way past where it has to be. So in other words, your strength it's just a lot stronger, and your grip, by the way, is a lot better when you're choked up on this, okay? So you have more movement. You're not at the end of your thumb movement. Again, holding it way back here, it's like I'm always at the end, I'm stretching, I'm really pushing, and you're weaker at the very end of your movement, right? So choke up. Hopefully that will help you. But as far as it, like, you know, breaking in, let's just say, I've never really experienced that. I've had hundreds of these knives, different brands, very expensive ones, very cheap ones. Generally speaking, when you first get them, they may be a little stiffer. They might break in, but it's very slight. It's not like, you know, if you have let's say 7 or 8 pounds of pressure before that action, you know, springs the blade out, that if you open this 1,000 times, it's going to be 4 pounds and then 2 pounds and it's going to be a hair trigger. It doesn't work like that. It just is what it is. All right, now even on smaller ones, you will have smaller springs, like literally because the knife is smaller. So generally speaking, this is a smaller OTF. It's a lot easier. There's way less tension that I need, less pressure to open this. All right, and then on this one, this actually was considered like a keychain. It had a keychain on the back, but I love this guy. Looks like a little Italian stiletto, but it's obviously a little OTF. And this takes nothing. There's no pressure at all. In fact, the movement to get this action to break is so slight. So it goes from here, because of black, it's hard to see, but it goes from here to here. Well, I see that even right there. Here to here, it's like a 1/4 of an inch, and then you meet that wall before it actually breaks and wants to open. All right, so this has like no pressure at all. All right, this one doesn't have as good of a grip. The jimping on here is a little smoother. So I can't quite do it as fast as some of the other knives, even though it's a short throw and it's very light, but it's just more uncomfortable just because, again, of how this jimping is. It's a higher ramp here, even though it's a smaller knife. But anyway, the point is that choke up on your knife. It's going to give you a better chance. It's going to give you more strength in your thumb. And, you know, it's not really going to break in like you think it might break in. What you need to do is just work on your thumb strength. That's it. If you've never had an OTF before, I don't know what else in life you're just, you know, flicking switches with pressure like that constantly. So what ends up happening is when you get an OTF, you don't normally just pick it up and open it and go, wow, that's kind of cool. I like that. And then close it and put it down. No one does that. What do we actually do? We go, wow, that's cool. Open, whoa, close, open, close, cool, open, close. Hey, check this out, Bill. Cool, let me check it out. Open, close, open, close. And what happens? Your thumb wears out. You know, your thumb gets chewed up from the texture on the switch, and your thumb just gets sore. That is normal. It's because you're playing with it because it is a cool novelty, right? But again, I mean, this is years and years of me just opening and closing these things. My thumb's just, I guess, used to it. That's all I can say. But it's not something that's incredibly, you know, difficult. If your thumb gets sore, just don't open it as much. You know, it's just you have to get used to that motion. Again, off the top of my head, I can't really think of anything else in life where we're pushing on a switch like this with an aggressive texture with our thumb, you know, with this much pressure. I can't think of anything. So it's unique. It's unique to OTFs, you know, so your thumb is not used to doing that. It's like if you, I don't know, let's say you go to the gym for the first time and you work on a certain part of your muscles that you've never used before, right? Just in your daily life, let's say you have a desk job or something and you just don't ever, I don't know, pull down 80 pounds, you know, towards the top of your head or something. When you do that motion, you're using a muscle you never use, and then what happens? It gets sore, right? You have to build those muscles. And I'm not, you know, I don't know what's going on with the thumb muscles, but you just got to work on it. That's all. It just takes a little bit of time. It definitely, there's a learning curve there. And also this particular person had said that they only opened it a few times and it broke. Like the blade wasn't working. And it was just, you know, gravity was opening and closing. That's because it came off the track. All right, I talk about this all the time. Let's see, let me sacrifice my hat here, hopefully. Oh, no, I don't want to cut my hat. I love my little leprechaun hat. Here, I got a water bottle. All right, so when the blade comes off the track, okay, even though that did pierce it, it popped it off the track here. All right, again, I have a whole video on this. When your OTF works like this, you're like, oh no, it's broken, the switch doesn't work. You have to reset it. All right, so you carefully, because you have a sharp edge here, you carefully pull it, and then it resets. All right, that's it. That's all you have to do. I gotta wipe the water off my blade. All right. Now, I might have a whole separate video on this, but there is a little bit of maintenance you have to do. All right. In fact, you know what? I'll probably do a separate video right after this one, just so it's a dedicated video, so anyone who's wondering who gets an OTF knows there is some stuff you have to do. It's not just like a fixed blade or necessarily a folder where you just use it and that's it, and you forget about it. There is a little maintenance required, all right, to keep this thing functioning properly. But anyway, the point of this one was your thumb has to get used to it. You gotta work out your thumb. So you're not using your OTFs. You do the, you know, the hitchhike. And do people even hitchhike anymore? I don't know. Is that a thing in the past? I'll tell you what, I certainly wouldn't hitchhike. I've picked up people, completely unrelated to this video, but I've picked up people and given them rides, complete strangers. Not hitchhiking, I didn't drive hours and hours, but like really bad weather, saw someone, you know, walking through the snow or walking through torrential rain and, you know, pulled over, hey, you need a ride? Yeah. And I've done that, and I've literally just given them a ride, and I've held my gun the whole time. I'm not even exaggerating, just I'm prepared for them to completely attack me. But I'm, you know, hoping for the best, and guess what? Every time, it's worked out fine. Now, that was in the past. I'll tell you that I offered a ride to a woman. This must have been, geez, 6 years ago or something. Maybe 5 years ago, I don't know. But it was a rainy day, and I pulled off on the side of the road. This woman was walking. She was completely drenched, and she must have been like, you know, middle-aged or so. And I pulled off to the side of the road. I said, hey, you know, you need a ride? And she looked at me like I was some kind of serial killer. And she had just so much fear in her face. She did not say no. She did not say yes. She turned around and ran. She ran. Okay, so it made me feel stupid. It made me feel weird. I was just offering a ride, but obviously she felt threatened by that. I have literally not offered a ride to anyone since. We just live at a different time now, where you just can't be nice to people because either they'll take advantage of you or they think you're weird for being nice. Isn't that strange? So anyway, little random story there. But yeah, as far as OTFs, you just gotta, you know, you have to break yourself in. You can't really break them in so much, but you have to break yourself in. You have to get used to that. Like I said, it's an odd movement that people aren't generally used to. So you just have to kind of practice. And that's about it. So anyway, hopefully you guys enjoy your St. Patrick's Day. Be careful out there. I know plenty of you are going to get loaded today. Just do not drive. That's all. You can have your fun, you know. Just do not make any bad decisions that's going to affect other people. That's all. Have a great day, and I will see you tomorrow when some of you are really hungover to watch a brand new video. Take it easy.